And first, I wanted to thank the first banker who said yes 3 years ago when I was organizing the first edition of Paris Fintech Forum, Mr. François Pérol, CEO of BPCE Group. You can applaud him. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Hi.
Because just for you to know,
Hope
today...
you're fine. I hope Stéphane did not talk too much about banking.
He can come back, be careful, he's just here. Just for you to know, today it's quite easy to have a banker on stage, but 3 years ago, I was like giving calls every 5 minutes to every bank in Europe, and nobody answered. The only guy who answered first time in November 2015, 15 minutes after my email, was François. And you always have in life to remember who helped you the first time. And I would never have done that if the first big banker didn't say yes. So thank you again, François.
Thanks. Thank you for inviting me again.
Oh, we'll see this morning if they want you again next year, okay? So we'll do a test just after that. So, first question. You were there, so I just said it, 28th of January 2016. And at this time, I remember in our first interview, you told us, yeah, fintech is really beginning and so on, and I'm sure it will be a trend. But at this time, you were not so many to say that, and it was again the time where fintech were fighting with banks, we will kill the banks, blah, 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 blah. And the banks were just looking at how to discuss with these new guys. What is your vision 2 years and a half later of what happened in the fintech industry and working with BPCE Group?
Wow. I think things are moving faster and faster. We now have numerous discussions with a large number of people, large number of fintechs, and these guys are basically our partners, or they are our competitors, obviously, which is good. They keep us alive, which is much better. And we are really, we have a huge range of discussions with them. So 3 years later, I would say this is a totally different landscape. Just to give you an example, we will announce today, because this is Paris Fintech Forum, so we waited for today.
Thank you.
We just announced today, and I'm very proud and very happy to say this, that we just signed a partnership with Meniga. Meniga is maybe known from a few people in the room. It's a very successful company. Based in Reykjavik, actually, and London, and Stockholm, and Warsaw, and other places. And it's basically a company which is doing white label solutions for personal finance management. So we signed a partnership with them, which basically is we will use Meniga solutions for all our active customers in France, for Banque Populaire and Caisse d'Épargne, which is roughly 15 million active customers that will use their solutions in terms of personal finance management. So this is account aggregation, obviously. This is transaction categorization. This is insights on revenues, on expenses. This is notification of important financial events. This is everything which makes, which will make the life of our customers a little bit better, and will be able to serve our customers better thanks to their solutions. So we didn't decide to buy Meniga. We didn't decide to acquire the company. We just decided to partner with them. And so, and that is a huge move, actually, for us.
Not to do it by yourself, just working with someone.
Yeah, we have our own solutions, actually. So we already provide an account aggregation solution, for instance. But we think Meniga's solution is better. So
let's be pragmatic.
Yeah, and really their solution is better. And we think, because we've screened the market, and we think this is the best solution in the market.
What?
So, and we are not the first bank to use their solution, actually. But that will be an industrial partnership. So this is at scale, because this is not for 200,000 customers. This is for 15 million active customers in France, actually, because our retail business is French. But this is what we will do. So we expect the pilot to be available. Well, I'm taking a risk, because this is always, you know...
Your communication will kill you. Don't give any dates.
Yeah, but second quarter? I guess. Second
Don't say the
quarter.
year, second
Okay,
quarter.
2018, thank you. We're slow, but not as that slow. So, and that is a very good example of what we are able to do with fintechs. For just another example, for our data repository solution, we are working with a fintech which is called Colibra, which is our provider for this. And this is key for our data infrastructure. And this is in place now, and we are working with this guy. We are working with fintechs in IA. We have a solution which provides automatic answers to questions from our customers in the insurance business. This is done with a small French fintech based in Bordeaux. I can't remember its name actually, so I'm sorry. But this is based in Bordeaux. So this is really, it has really changed. And you're not obliged to acquire the company. You can have many different links with fintechs. We acquired a few. We just completed the acquisition of Dalenis, for instance, which is a larger company, actually.
What was the size of the deal already?
It was a 160 million euros deal. It was a listed company in Paris, so this is in the payment universe. It's a digital payment universe. And this is done through Natixis, because Natixis is now gathering all our businesses in payments. Processing.
So Natixis payment solution.
Yeah, Natixis payment solution. So Natixis just completed this acquisition beginning of this year. We completed the acquisition of PayPlug just 1 year ago. So this is another way to move forward. And then we are investing as a minority shareholder as well, either directly, which is not as that often, but more often indirectly through funds. We invested in, we are partnering with Truffle Capital, for instance. We just participated in the setting up of their fund. We use Venture Capital, which is in-house fund for fintechs. We just invested in ID Now, for instance, which is funny because ID Now is providing the video recognition solution for opening an account for Fidor, okay,
and for N26,
and for N26 as well. So this is very interesting landscape. So things are moving faster and faster, and we have a lot of discussions. Some of them just fail, okay. Sometimes you guys are too expensive. We are not the only one to be too expensive sometimes. So sometimes the discussions just fail. Sometimes it's difficult, okay? And we are, trying to know each other better. We are a large group. 110,000 people in 55 countries. So it may sound a little bit, scaring for a small company, but we try to adapt ourselves.
That's quite the timing. I mean, just for remember people, you just mentioned a few companies. Many guys there upstairs, you can meet them on the pod. You can also meet a few others that you just mentioned. But for example, Meniga was there the same day as you, 28 January 2016. You meet them a bit later, and then it's a time to sign a deal. That's a normal life, banks and fintech. You can't expect in 3 months things to happen.
I met with George Ludvigson,
1 year
which
ago.
is who is a founder of Meniga, just roughly, I guess, 1 year ago.
It's a normal time.
It took 1 year to finalize. I think we signed actually a little bit earlier, but I waited for the Paris FinTech Forum just to say it. And my team said, just don't announce that. Wait till we have a pilot. Okay. Well, I did not actually, so I'm sorry, you guys. But I think it's the right time to say this because this is a Paris FinTech Forum. More and more people are there, actually, which is really good. It's good for us. It's good for a French bank to be able to discuss with so many people in such a short period of time. So, right time to say we're happy to to deal with Medica.
Speaking of time, we have 5 minutes. I have 2 more questions.
Sorry.
One question is, okay, plenty of nice things with fintech, but last year on the very same stage, you told me we acquired Fidor soon here. 1 year later.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah, but I knew I was just speaking just after Stéphane Richard, so I said it would be better if we are a little bit late, as they were. Everybody is late when it comes to create a bank, okay? So we basically changed our mind regarding Fidor in France, and we will not create a bank.
That's a big change.
Okay, we will we'll launch a PSD2 model, business model. So that will not be a bank.
You can do the
At
same.
least at the first stage, it will not be a bank.
You can do most of your offer with this agreement.
We think we can do most of our business using the PSD2 model.
PSD2 is a
So
large
that will
change.
be a much, let's say, light model. It's less costly. The license, no license, no huge compliance risk, and so on and so forth. Team, a little bit less of discussion with supervisors, which is we like to discuss with them, obviously, but well,
Sometimes
if
it's
it's
long.
shorter, it's better. So we decided at the first stage to use a PSD2 model.
I'm
So
very
that
happy.
will not be a bank, at least in France. It is a bank in Germany.
Yeah,
but it's
sure.
already a bank. And we are thinking about how do we move forward around Europe? Do we use it as a bank, or do we use a PSD2 model? And my own preference, but this is still under discussion, and Matthias could comment on this. My own
Matthias is
preference
there in
would be
5 minutes.
I know. We thought I think it would be better to use a PSD2 model.
So if I may, the big thing to reminder of that announcement is that PSD2 is not only helping an opportunity for fintechs, it's a big opportunity also for banks. To do new things.
The regulation is the same for everybody.
Yeah, but you
So
can
as
use
long
it.
as it is the same for everybody, everybody can use it. So if you're a large bank, you can use it. Obviously, if you're a small fintech, you can use it. If you're a large fintech, you can use it. It's
because
obviously made for everybody. So this is an opportunity for banks, large banks, as it is for fintechs.
No, because many banks, including your own association of banks, were always saying, let's postpone PSD2, blah, blah, blah. It's a threat, but it's an opportunity for you too.
Okay, but this is a classic game. You can you can fight on the one side because you have your agenda, and you can develop on the other side because you have another agenda. And I think it's key for a group like us to be able to develop different business models in the same company. So we have a business model for retail, which is the one of Banque Populaire and Caisse d'Épargne, which is based upon, let's say, providing advice through people. Okay, so this is our business model, and we have a large number of people doing this in the field. But it's possible for us to develop something which is totally different, which is a PSD2-based model in France, trying to use the new opportunities opened by the new regulation. Well, I think it's really possible. And at the same time, I'm able, together with my friends from Société Générale and BNP and others, to fight a few items in
Very specific
PSD2.
one.
Yeah, very specific ones. And to look at this new regulation and say, well, what could we do with it? And is it possible for us to do something with it? So, well, I think it's no problem with this. I think it's okay.
François, we have only 1 minute left. I can make it 2, but no more, to discuss a bit of
so
one important
Fidor
point.
2018, I'm sorry we're late.
Yeah. So just a last important point. Okay, we spoke about fintech. Fintech, you acquire, you work with them, but all that is also to
But
transform your
Matthias
group.
will tell you a little bit more about Fidor, and it's moving forward really well in Germany, so he will tell you a little bit on this.
We will be working on that with Brett King in a few
Okay.
minutes. Now, so my point is, okay, I know that you have announced recently, 3 months ago, a big transformation plan and a strategic plan for 220, is that it, your 220 plan?
Yeah.
So
2020.
please, you have only 1 minute to give us the key points on that.
Okay, the name of the plan is Tech 2020. Tech because technology is reshaping our world. And this is a plan about tech, care, and growth. Care about our customers, we want to better serve them. Growth because we want to grow in all our businesses, because we're not only a retail business, we have a huge asset management business.
What
we are
size?
$1 trillion, roughly.
Revenue?
And we want to grow it up to 1 trillion euros, but we are number one in Europe in terms of revenues. So Amundi is number one in terms of assets under management. We are number one in terms of revenues because we don't have the same business. We have a very large equity business, very large, let's say, tailor-made business, tailor-made solutions. And we want to grow all our businesses. So this is about tech, care, and growth. And we will multiply by 3 our investment in technology, partly through fintechs. I will not give any figure on our partnership with Medica, but this is a large investment, no doubt.
Thank you. We have to close
Thank you.
now. I thank you. Please applause.
Thank you very much.